Hi, we are amateurs, Emilia and Paweł, a hiking couple living in Wales. We just started a challenge of climbing all 446 mountains in England and Wales over 2000 feet, called Nuttall Challenge, but occasionally we want to show you the beauty of lowland UK. Come and join us on weekend adventures. A week ago, we left you in Nercwys Forest in full Welsh winter mode. We were following the Red Circuit Trail and decided to make a little detour toward Bryn Alyn. How did that go? Well, not exactly according to plan.
Oh, we are going in the snow. We didn't expect that. It's not super deep, but still, we didn't even take anything for this, but we don't need it. But wow!
To reach Bryn Alyn and the smaller hills around it, which is where we actually ended up, you turn left at the end of Nercwys Forest Red Circuit. The junction is clearly marked and you'll spot information boards about the area's mining history right away. From there, the path takes you through the forest and over stile, opening up views across the lake. You can also do this walk as a completely separate trip straight from the car park, but we left a link to our route in the description below.
White Christmas without Christmas.
Someone was running here.
It's quite deep.
And windy. Look at the snow. These were not the conditions we were expecting. But this is Wales, so we always come prepared, even on a low-level walk like this. We're only around 350 meters above sea level here, with Bryn Alyn itself topping out at about 400 meters, but it still felt properly wild out there. It's also worth mentioning that Bryn Alyn sits within the Clwydian Range and the Dee Valley area of outstanding natural beauty, and the hillsides around here are scattered with the remains of old mining activity. This area was worked for lead and small amounts of silver, mainly in the early 19th century, at what was known as the Belgrave Mine. By the mid-1800s, production had largely faded out, but the landscape still tells the story. The Belgrave vein is just one small part of a much bigger lead mining story in northeast Wales. Across the wider region, there were earlier smaller-scale workings, possibly even dating back to Roman or medieval times, especially around areas like Halkin Mountain. But along this ridge, at least 10 shafts were sunk along the Belgrave vein, linked by adits, horizontal tunnels cut into hillside to follow the mineral vein. If you keep your eyes open, you can still spot the remains of these workings as you walk. We certainly did.
Woo, that's quite deep.
Jaskinka?
What's there?
It's like a cave.
Kind of cave. Paweł, the caveman.
Paweł the caveman.
At this point we called it on Bryn Alyn and spent some time exploring the unnamed hills around.
Dun, 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 dun. We are at the top of something.
Of something. On the mountain.
But we actually found rock. So there is a lot of rock here.
Yeah.
It's actually a mountain. Don't fall.
I feel like my cheeks are
Red, like my hair.
but also I can't feel them.
Yeah, it's quite cold and windy. But yeah, as usual, winter in Wales.
The timing couldn't have been better, or worse. The wind picked up exactly as we launched the drone. What followed was very nearly an emergency landing, frozen fingers and hands that had completely stopped working. So really there was only one sensible decision left to make. Time to head home. On the way back, crossing farmland and opening what felt like an endless number of gates, we started thinking about the history of this place and the impact mining had on the people who lived and worked here. This wasn't just hard work. Mining meant lead poisoning, carbon dioxide exposure, frequent accidents and flooding. and in some cases children as young as 10 working underground. There were strikes, there were injuries, and there were lives shaped entirely by what was happening beneath these hills. Places like this remind us that walking in the landscape isn't always just about summits or views, it's also about the stories written underneath, deep in the ground. We'll leave a link below if you want to read more about the mining history and its impact on local communities. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.